The 4th of July began 244 years ago when the founding fathers of our country signed a Declaration of Independence. The Declaration of Independence gave reasons why we wanted to be free. Chief among them were the three words, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those words have been guiding words for this country since its beginning. Come to this point in our history when we are once again, as a nation, facing a crisis, actually two. The first crisis, and the most obvious one that's been on the news the most, has been this coronavirus, which is a natural occurrence. The other pandemic we're having, and it's become quite obvious also, is a racial pandemic. This disease has been with our country since its founding. In Jamestown, 401 years ago, the first Africans were brought to this country to be slaves. The fabric of this country's history has been woven since then by the tragedy and the struggle of those descendants of that first crime against a group of people, that enslavement of peoples for the wealth of others. That has been with us ever since. And in some form or fashion, the African American population of America has struggled to find freedom. And that's what we talk about today when we think about the 4th of July. As I said, since Jamestown, 401 years ago, there has been a suppression of a certain group of people. I think what's really been shocking to us is to hear a man actually say, "I cannot breathe," and then to watch him die on the screen, in our own home, in the vulnerability of our own quiet spaces, and to feel that tragedy to some degree more poignantly than we have in a long time. And I think it has caused us to be sensitized to the history of the suppression of African Americans in this country. All men are created equal. All men are created equal, yet we did not treat all people equally. And so we've come to this point now when we as a nation, if we wish to live up to our ideals, need to change. I think one of the things that has to happen to make that true is that we need to educate ourselves in the many ways that this country, we the people, have not responded to our highest ideals equally. I would invite all of us to spend some time, as Lauren said, in educating ourselves in the history of the African Americans. If we can bring our attention to the depth that we are touched and feel with empathy what has happened, I think the rest will follow naturally. I think we will act in such a way, and I don't know exactly all those ways are, we will act in such a way that we can help bring about a change in this country. I think this is a blight on our country. I think we are forced to face that this year. And although it is quite uncomfortable and a bit depressing, and sometimes it creates anger and frustration, it is an opening for us. It is an opening for us to actually see all people as Everyone should be able to grow up expecting to have a general level of safety in this country as well. And while that has not obviously been the truth, I think it is a time for us to step forward and make it so. So on this day, the day after the 4th of July, the day after the Declaration of Independence, the day after declaring that all men are created equal with certain unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, we still feel the echo of those words, "I can't breathe." If we are ever to take a step forward, let us start now. So the first thing, I think, is to educate ourselves, to begin to develop a sense of history so profound that we know, we empathize, we relate with the struggles of our African American brothers and sisters. And having developed a sense of empathy, then I think it's incumbent upon us to act. And where we can, I think we should extend kindness. Where we can, we should extend friendship and camaraderie. And perhaps it is ours to stand and march, and perhaps it is ours to write our senators and ask for substantive legislation for police reform. Perhaps ours is to meditate on a daily basis and pray that the world changes. Perhaps ours is to unfold our own being with love so profoundly that wherever we go, we make hate and anger melt by our mere presence. If you can build a negative thought form, then you can build a positive one as well. You can build the positive thought form of love and compassion, and that we are all one with each other. And if we will dedicate ourselves, then I think our generation has the possibility of creating a new thought form, one that will eventually displace that old racist thought form. One that will say, all people are my brothers and sisters. I am created equal, and we all share the same desire for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This thought form that we wish to create can be created by our intention, our prayer, our energy, our emotion. That's what creates thought forms, that makes them bigger and stronger. It's the energy and the emotion along with your intent. And so you create this thought form for yourself. You retrain your own mind to think love and compassion, oneness and equality. Let us learn to love so strongly, so powerfully, that we influence the world around us, that we become a beacon, a place of love and kindness, a haven for other people. Let this be our gift to the world, that we love so strongly that we changed it.